Can you hear me very well?
Yeah,
Okay, great.
I'm
So, how's been your day?
good, good. Busy as usual, but thank God. How
All right.
about how's yours been?
Mine has been stressful, oh, very stressful. I had to just, by all means, make this a reality. So, am I audible enough? Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Clearly, clearly.
Great. So, let
I
us
can hear
kick
you
off.
clearly.
Okay? Um, so I would like you to, seeing great work you've been doing, and it's been an awesome work, even with the last recognition that you had, and what figure you know is doing in the e-commerce space. So I want you to just tell me about yourself personally, and what like drove you into being an entrepreneur.
Okay, thanks, David, for having me. Like my name is Ubunna. I'm a two-time founder with over a decade of experience across the retail value chain. So basically, I've played in all sectors of the retail value chain, from manufacturing to distribution across multiple countries to even running small-scale retail businesses as a student entrepreneur. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. I've also played extensively in the tech space, B2B and B2C e-commerce, and a couple of other sectors like that. But by training, I'm an engineer. I actually studied industrial and product engineering in the University of Ibadan. Um, I think of myself as a born entrepreneur because right from my very early childhood days, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know I was going to be a tech founder because tech was not in the picture. And yeah, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, to do stuff in manufacturing, build my own FMCG company, be an importer and exporter as well, also play in the oil field. So yeah, that was my ambition as a child, and I think just that entrepreneurial nature led me to launch a couple of businesses while I was in the university. And unfortunately, most of those businesses failed. I struggled with many of them over time, and it was my struggles with my personal businesses at the time as a student entrepreneur that led me to found Varsity, which was my first startup back in 2015. And ran Varsity for a couple of years. The insights learned from running Varsity and building Varsity basically led us to Figure because we're able to understand challenges SMEs were facing as regards product sourcing and how big of a problem it was. And nobody was really fixing the product sourcing challenges the right. And so we decided to build a company to solve that massive problem for millions of SMEs in Nigeria and across Africa. Are you there, David? You're on mute, I think. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Fine, I'm good.
Okay.
Also, that's great. I enjoyed the the journey for you. But I want to ask now, starting off into Figure as a company, what led you into building Figure?
So it was basically the insights we saw building Varsity. So Varsity at the time was a B2B and B2C company. We were more focused on B2B, business to business, B2C, business to customer, right? Or business to consumer. But we're more focused at the time on the B2. We're more focused on the time on the B2C part of Varsity, right? In fact, we were more positioned as a B2C brand, but actually what we were trying to do at the time was to build a digital infrastructure to position and drive retail transactions end to end for stakeholders. So what that meant was we were building like a super application that consists of multiple independent but interconnected applications for retail stakeholders, right? And this meant we had basically different platforms all in one, right? And but what we saw basically was we're gaining the most traction from the B2B part of it. So a lot of the retailers and SMEs that were leveraging our infrastructure at the time were more interested in buying products in bulk from suppliers through us through the varsity wholesale center. Then that's what we call it, right? And even though we're focused more on the varsity marketplace, which is basically enabling consumer source goods from retailers, we saw a lot of traction from the B2B part of it, from the wholesale center. So we knew that this was a very big problem. And because I had also played in that space, in manufacturing, in wholesale distribution, and even in running small scale retail businesses, I could see how that was a major pain point for the SMEs trying to source goods, and how that was a major opportunity as well for the distributors and the suppliers who are looking for more channels and more innovative ways to sell in bulk. So it was basically all of these factors put together. There were some other factors as well, but these were the major ones that helped us to understand the gap in the market, the market and the gap, and basically that's why we decided to build Figure to solve this massive problem. Basically, that's it.
Okay. So yes, you've been into some accelerator programs. Has these programs been able to shape how Figo has been received in the market?
Okay, so that's a good question. Yes, from varsity days, we've attended a lot of interesting accelerator programs, even with Figo as well. So one thing I believe is that learning is continuous. You never stop learning, especially if you're a leader. Leadership and learning go hand in hand, right? So for you to be successful, you must always learn, you must unlearn, and you must relearn. And I think a lot of these accelerator programs, amongst many other things, really help you to think, really teach you new concepts, teach you new things. Many times you're fortunate enough to learn from established players in the ecosystem, either established founders, investors, even established players in the traditional, what you can call the traditional ecosystem, right? People who have built really successful companies. And so you're able to learn, gain um, insights from their wealth of knowledge, learn from their real life experiences. You're also exposed to new concepts. It helps you to avoid certain mistakes that you could have made. So, all in all, I think it's been very helpful in shaping the way we think, the way we execute, the way we plan, the way we strategize, the way we build, the way we manage our team, and many other aspects of our business. So I'll say yes, it's been quite helpful, and I would also encourage other founders to leverage such opportunities if they are able to.
That's interesting. Now, I want to know for Figo, what has been the major challenge you've been facing, like currently in the Nigerian market space now?
Okay, so I mean, the couple of challenges every founder or every company faces. You can think of challenges from the point of fundraising or funding. Fortunately, funding is quite challenging, and you need funding to scale. So that could be a challenge. You can think of challenge from the point of talent, right? As a startup, you're competing for talent with other startups and with established local and global companies, right? So of course that's a major challenge because you can't build the company alone, and the team you build is the company you build. So finding the right talents who will put key into the vision, who will be passionate, committed, resilient to be in some areas, right? So I could say fundraising, I could say talent as well. Those are just a few of the challenges that I could speak about for now.
And in terms of fundraising, like how much have you been able to raise for Figo for now?
We've raised I don't want to speak about that for now. I don't want to speak about that, but we're doing.
Okay, so yes, it's not public yet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then, in terms of talent, what's your philosophy about the kind of talents that you want to work with? What are the things you look out for? And what are the key trends you've observed in talent recruiting for some time now?
Okay, so there are two major things we look out for when it comes to talent, and that's attitude and skill, right? Attitude, as we've said, is more important than skill, right? Skill can be learned, attitude can't. So if you have attitude with the wrong tandem, if you have wrong attitude, and what is attitude? The way they think about their work, the way they communicate, the way they show up, the level of resilience they have, the amount of zeal they bring to their work, the their willingness to want to learn, right? Their ability to take feedback, all of these things, their interpersonal skills, their leadership skills, all of these things form attitude. All of these things make up the attitude of a person, right? And then the actual skill set. So most times there's a gap. You see a lot of people who are not willing to bring in that attitude, who are not willing to put their best foot forward, who are not willing to learn, who are not open to new ideas, who are not, willing to grow. They just want things to happen overnight. They want to do the least possible work and get the maximum possible result. But the truth is, hard work always comes before success. You need to grind, you need to learn, you need to be patient, you need to grow. And unfortunately, there are not a lot of people willing to do that now. And sometimes the people who might even be willing to do that, they are just not, they just don't, um, sometimes don't have the skill sets for the level they are trying to coming out. So, for example, you see somebody who should be thinking about being in an entry level position, but because the person has 1 year experience or 2 years experience, they're talking about being a manager or a lead, and they just don't have what it takes. So, they might have the right attitude in some aspect, but you still need to be patient and you need to still grow into the role. So, yeah, these are some of the challenges we've seen. Also, for us at Figure specifically, we are also very keen about people who key into our core values and who possess traits that are aligned with our core values. So our core values are summed up as dope. So you have to be a dope person. So this is discipline. You have to be disciplined. O ownership. You have to take ownership of your work and of everything. P is professionalism. You have to be professional, have the right attitude towards work. And E is excellence. You have to drive for excellence, focus on the results, and say no to mediocrity of any kind.
Mm, excellent. Excellent. So, I'm curious about the key milestones that Figure has been able to achieve in the couple. How many years is the startup now?
Let, we went to market in September 2023, so about 18 months
18 months.
in
So, what
market.
are the
Yeah,
significant
about 2 years
milestones
ago.
you're able to hit for the time being?
Um, we've done really. I think some of these things are not things that we want to be talking about in public for now. These are things that we share to people who need to know, not necessarily the public. We have our reasons for that. So if I'm going to talk about milestones, I have to go deep into a lot of the things we've done. And we're not ready to discuss that publicly for now. But I can just say we are doing very well. We are moving on quickly. Um, you already know some of the milestones you've mentioned, it, at least some of the ones that are out there, like some of the things we've won, some of the accelerators we've gotten into, some of the programs that we've been merit overall winner, but there are a lot of other
Yeah, yeah,
really
I
important
know, but
things that
I have a lot of people that still want to know about it.
yeah,
That's
so
why I'm asking.
in terms of like maybe product or we built all
Yeah,
our
let's start
platforms
with
are
yeah,
live,
let's start with
website.
the market, like the market acceptance and solving the right problem. Like is Figure really gotten their product market fit to know if they are really solving
Yeah,
the real problem, or
we
you're still
believe
in
we
that
have.
phase? You think you have, right?
We believe we're there, yes.
Okay, great. Yes. So how do we verify with some milestones to show that be able to hit
Yeah,
the real?
maybe we can talk about that off camera, but I don't want to put that out there for now.
All right. Okay, great. All right, great. It's exciting. Yeah, I love how you're trying to be very diplomatic about that. That's fine. So, but nevertheless, for Figure, what's market apart from Nigeria now? What market are you in Africa? Are you planning to get into in a couple of maybe 1 year or 2 years from now?
So for now, we're in the next 1 2 years, we are still very much in the Nigerian market. We are building for Africa, but we are starting with Nigeria. And it's very important that we become a market leader in the Nigerian market before we expand. So, because once we start expanding, we are going to expand fast, right? So we need to make sure we have all of the systems, structures, processes, people, financials on ground for us to expand. So for now, in the short term, we're still in the Nigerian market.
Okay, that's so who will you find as your closest competitors now in the market space?
Our biggest competitors are the suppliers in the open resource market that are not yet on fire. In terms of tech companies, right? I know what you're asking. In terms of tech companies, we have many companies that are doing interesting things. Companies like Oni Retail, companies like Trade Depot, companies like Sabi, companies like Alexa, they are all doing very interesting work in the B2B e-commerce space as well. So yeah, I think in some way they are competitors as well, and I'm sure that's what you're asking.
Okay, great. So yeah, fine. Then what uniqueness does Figure bring to the market?
So I think the first thing to understand is that we are an actual wholesale marketplace, right? So
Oh,
we are
great.
not a retail distribution platform. So what that means by being a market is a place where buyers and sellers meet, right? And they come to transact. So we bring online existing suppliers. You think of the suppliers in places like Trade Fair. Think of manufacturers in Aba, manufacturers of Kano, suppliers in Lagos Island, and all these other places. We bring them online, make them have an online store, have an online presence. Also give them the tools to manage some key aspects of their business online. And the SMEs, the businesses who need to source goods can find them, so can discover them, negotiate and source goods from them through the Figure platform. So Figure, you can think of Figure like Alibaba. It's really the Alibaba model that we are replicating. So the businesses around the world are able to source goods from China through Alibaba. You can go to Alibaba, you can discover suppliers or manufacturers, negotiate with manufacturers from them. So it's the same thing bringing to the African market for we started with Nigeria.
Oh, that's excellent. So we could say the Alibaba of African.
That's correct.
Great. Okay, great. And that's interesting. For young entrepreneurs and founders who are trying to build a startup, what would you want to tell them to watch out for currently?
Don't do it. I'm playing, but really, I feel like building a startup is really difficult. Like it's really difficult. Forget all the glitz and glamour and everything
Yeah, because
surrounding
you are
it.
a two-time
You
founder,
know,
so you should probably be able to tell us something good.
yeah. Yeah. So building a startup requires sacrifices. You're going to have to sacrifice a lot, much more than you can imagine. Right? It requires a lot of sacrifices. It requires what I like to call unusual resilience because it's going to test you in ways that will not foresee. Right? It's really going to test you. So, are you willing to sacrifice all that is needed? Are you willing to, you know, show up every day with resilience? Promise yourself you're not going to give up, grind harder than almost anybody else. Because the way I think about it for startups is you're doing something that has not been done. You're building something from nothing, right? You're trying to go from zero to one. So it's really, really very difficult. Unfortunately, if you're in a market like Nigeria, there are a lot of things working against you as well. That there's a lot of challenges that you already have to face every day. So if you feel like you have what it takes, if you feel like you're willing to sacrifice, you're willing to work harder than almost anybody else, you're willing to be unusually resilient, you're willing to learn because there's a lot of learning, right? About building a startup or building a company, there are a lot of things you don't know, right? You need to keep learning every day. You can't really be a novice, right? You have to keep learning, unlearning, relearning. You have to build a strong network. You need to build a strong network to succeed, right? You can't just be out there. You have to build a strong network. You have to build a strong team, right? To build a strong team, you have the right people management skills, right? You need to be able to get people to trust you, to work with you, to key into your vision. You might need to fundraise, so you probably need to have the right network of investors, to bet on you or convince people to invest in your startup, except you want to bootstrap, which is also fine. So these are the realities of building a startup. So if you really want to do it, then roll up your sleeves, get ready to, do the dirty work, do the hard work, wake up every day, grind 247, and then just keep going. It'll probably take longer than you expect, it's probably be harder than you expect, but if you're laser sharp focused and you're willing to do all it takes, then you have a high chance of being successful. You can actually do all of these things on field, just so you know, but this is your chance of being successful. So yeah, that's my advice to people who are thinking about becoming startup founders. That's the truth, cold hard truths.
Building figure, building figure. What will you say is that thing that will get you excited that yes, you've done a very good job? What will you say? What will bring to you that point of excitement or satisfaction that yes, I've been able to do a good job?
When we become number one in Africa, so our goal is to build figure to become Africa's largest wholesale marketplace. When we achieve that, there's no stopping. But when it's clear by a mile that we are the largest wholesale marketplace in Africa, and maybe we become acquired by like an Alibaba, we'll say, okay, we've tried.
Oh, that's
But until
incredible.
then, we just, yeah.
So in terms of partnerships, has partnership been able to fuel your growth?
Hi, I think I lost you.
Yeah, I say in terms of partnership, how has partnerships been able to fuel your growth? And what are the key partnerships you are looking at next couple of months?
So partnerships are very crucial. Partnerships are very, very crucial to thrive. At Figure, we have a lot of strategic partnerships that we've closed and that we are currently closing. So we have different kinds of partnerships. One of them, which is very common, is logistics partnerships. We are moving bulk goods, right? Nationwide, a lot of businesses are selling their goods on the road, and those goods have to be moved. We are asset-light business, like I mentioned, right? So we're more of a tech play, data play, and so. So because of this, we don't hold any inventory, we don't have any warehouses, own any trucks, any vehicles of any kind. So we need to partner with people who have these trucks, have these vans, have these buses, and so on. So we have a lot of logistics partners today. There are also partnership in terms of like payments, payment partners. So we've closed some partnerships with some financial institutions. We are closing some as well. So we have to roll out the Figure wallet this quarter. That is also in partnership with some leading and innovative financial institutions. Part of that includes buy now, pay later. So where SMEs can access credit to buy more goods, that's also driven by partnerships. Also, we're partnering with manufacturers now, the large manufacturers, and the partnership basically involves the onboarding. For some reason, I'm hearing myself now.
Oh, I'm hearing
I'm not
you.
sure why. Okay, I just started hearing myself like echo.
Oh, right, I can hear
I
you.
don't know if it's better. Okay, so we're also partnering with some large manufacturers as well. So we are their distributors to the Figure network. So what that means, distributors in this from Figure with help buying directly from verified and from verified and authentic suppliers, not that been verified by the manufacturer themselves. There are a lot of partnerships in a nutshell that we are implementing. I hope I leverage.
Okay, that's great. I can see partnership is very key. Now, I want to ask this. In terms of AI is a big trend now. I want to know how can AI be able to enhance your or are you currently using AI to enhance your work? And as we go.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about artificial intelligence, it is possible for most companies to thrive leveraging AI. All right. So if you think about, I don't know if it's possible for me to leave this call and return. I don't know why. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Hello?
hear you. I can hear you clearly.
I hear the fact that MS is hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you clearly.
I don't have a choice. I have to keep talking like that, but the feed is really dimension high house. Okay, so yeah,
So
you were talking about AI.
you're talking
So
about AI, yeah.
yes, can you still hear me?
Yes, yes, very well. So you're talking about AI. So I'm curious to know how AI,
I don't think
how you're using AI.
that I don't think it's possible for me to talk to AI in the future, the near future. Right. So far, I'm thinking about that as well. Yeah, actually also important and cheap compared with as an fact. So there's a lot of activities, that are going on our platform. Right, these things are trying to search for the right product to buy. So that search can be better driven or better optimized using AI. These SMEs are trying to negotiate for the best terms and best prices that can be optimized using AI, right? These suppliers are trying to also understand their business model. So we have a lot of it and smart about the business that can be predicted using AI. Right? We're creating a personalized experience for every shop we have and every SME. So once you log into the app, you fill out your experience based on what we know about you. And that's learning and also AI. Of course, we're tech from where AI is a big part of what we are doing. Just giving you a few examples that people can just talk about.
Okay, yeah, that's incredible. So any industry trend you're looking at, any trend you're looking at in the next couple of years in the e-commerce space?
Outside of AI and machine learning,
Yes, artificial
yeah.
intelligence, yeah,
Is it
yeah,
out?
yeah. And any other one?
Yeah. So I think these are major trends, but in e-commerce, I think what will try is a stronger platform to be able to be in B2C. So I think Nigeria is a low trust environment right now. As so there's down e-commerce are down, but I think as we continue to use new services, new capacity that actually work and that actually integrate with the user, right? This will e-commerce. Outside of Nigeria and emerging technologies like that, I think the trend that I'm looking for and looking is the stronger commerce adoption. Typically, within my trust, and that be provided by being a fair service that are put set and that work.
All right. Thank you so much. It's
Good buy
incredible.
payment and delivery for especially B2C because yeah, we just need to do
All right. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it a whole lot. I learned a lot through the conversation. Thank you for honoring this, Mr. Obona. I'm quite grateful. And I believe, like you said, Figure will be number one in a couple of months, not even years now. Number one in Africa. And I will really be on your back, not on your neck now, on your back till we see this happen. So glad to hear
by
from
God,
you, and
it's right.
no problem. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you so much, David. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Have a good day.
All right now.
Bye.
Bye.